Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to another episode of Geeks Watch. Today I want to talk about the film Who Framed Roger Rabbit, an image of which you will see here. And yes, this is a VHS tape. I have not yet replaced this on Blu-ray or DVD or what have you. And I'm going to keep it until I replace it with a better quality copy, because this thing's been beaten up. Anyway, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Came out in the 90s. Did it come out in the 90s? What's the date on this sucker? I should have looked it up beforehand. And I didn't. I'm an idiot. It's got to be a date on this somewhere. Now I got to know. Crap, it's not on here either. This thing is sold. I'm not even sure if it'll work anymore. Anyway, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a story about a man, a woman, and a rabbit. And you can tell by the picture, it's a combination of real life and animation. The film is a send-up on the old noir detective films of the 30s and 40s. You know, you've got the main character who's this grizzled old detective who, you know, he's a tough, hard-drinking man. He has this on and off relationship with a diner waitress, and what makes this thing a bit more interesting, it's obviously a comedy, is that in this film, in this world, cartoons are real, in that they're out in the world walking and doing things. And Roger Rabbit is framed for murder. Happens fairly quick in the film. So there's this mixture of, you know, gritty, hard detective and just slapstick goofball cartoon comedy that you wouldn't think would work, and yet it really does. You get some great performances by is it Anthony Hopkins? Yeah, I think it's Anthony Hopkins. Again, I should have looked this up because I am just doing a bad job of this. As Eddie the detective, you have an amazing performance of Judge Doom by Christopher Lloyd, who is better known for his goofy characters. He plays the villain in this and plays it excellently. I really enjoy his villainous character of Judge Doom. But the film is, you know, brief recap. You know, Detective Eddie's, you know, got problems. He used to have, you know, used to be better. He's kind of fallen on hard times. He takes his job snooping on Roger Rabbit, who is having problems with his acting career. Something happens, Roger's framed. The two of them are stuck together trying to figure out what's really going on. You know, there's just, you know, so many little cool moments in the film in combining the animation with the real life action. There's a couple things that I really loved. There's a scene where Roger Rabbit goes to sit down in a chair. It's an old, and you know, he puts his hand on the back of the chair. As he pulls his hand away, you can see his fingerprints in the dust. That is some attention to detail. I mean, they went hard for making it feel like these characters were actually there in the world. You know, there's another scene where they're handcuffed together. Roger Rabbit and Eddie are handcuffed together, and the interactions, the whole scene just feels like he's really there. You know, when he jerks his arm and Roger's on the end of it, you know, it feels like there's some weight behind it. I don't know how they did some of these tricks. I'm sure I could look them up. I'm sure there's how they did it online in YouTube or whatever. But man, they put some effort into this. They really did. Which you might expect a little bit more when you realize who produced this film. It was directed by Roger Zemeckis, but it was produced by Steven Spielberg. And if you've seen Jurassic Park, you know that Steven Spielberg doesn't care about money. If he wants to do a project, he'll just throw as much money in it as he can to get it done. He doesn't care. It's like, and I respect that about the man. And that's another reason why I wanted to talk about this, because this is probably one of the only films where Warner Brothers and Disney characters appear in the film together. Um, and I love this story. I really do. Because the way Disney and Warner Brothers and things do this, they generally don't like licensing out their product to other companies. They really hate it. But they still, in good faith, make an offer. But what they usually do is they make an offer that is so outrageous that no one would ever pay it. Spielberg paid it because he just didn't care about the money. Warner Brothers and Disney did their usual, haha, here's this outrageous amount of money to use our entities. And Spielberg just said, fine, here's the check. And then they had to scramble to actually write a contract because they never in their lives expected that anyone would actually pay that amount of money. Whatever criticisms I may have of any of Spielberg's other works, I respect the man for that. The contract, I mean, they negotiated the fact that, like, they negotiated so finely, like, because they didn't want any of the other parties' characters get more screen time. It's negotiated, like, Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse are on screen for the exact same amount of time. Daffy Duck and Donald Duck are on screen for the exact same amount of time. They split it, all of Warner Brothers characters, all Disney's characters. There's an equal number of characters in the film, and they're all on the screen for the exact same amount of time because that's how awful these companies are. I really think because it is a somewhat of a period piece film, it takes place in an alternate world in the I'm not sure the exact year it takes place in, but I would have to guess it takes place before either before World War II or slightly after, based on the technology, and there's no dates given, I don't think, but you've got the character of Jessica Rabbit in here too, who is the beautiful femme fatale, and who is the wife of a cartoon character rabbit. There's just so much to like about this film. Most of the Disney and Warner Brothers characters are background characters. You really don't, the main characters, cartoon characters, are Roger Rabbit. There's a cartoon baby character. There's a cartoon car, and there's Jessica Rabbit. The other characters are like, you'll see like the penguins from Mary Poppins tending bar, that kind of stuff. Dumbo will show up in the background of a screen for something for 20 seconds. These unique character or original characters are the main characters you'll see in the film. The other stuff is background dressing. And like you would expect of a Spielberg-backed piece of film, there's a good story here. It's fun. It is mostly family friendly. There are a few comments made that could be taken one or two ways. There's like some mild adult humor. There's a couple like throwaway comments that I, in first watching it, didn't think about it, but then was like, wait, that could be taken another way that little kids aren't going to expect. So you could watch this with kids. I have no idea what's rated, but Jessica Rabbit is the voluptuous femme fatale. So that's no worse than any other cartoon stuff that kids would be exposed to, like whatever. It is what it is. This is a family-friendly movie with a few adult moments thrown in, a few bits of adult comedy thrown in that only adults would get. I love this film. I highly recommend anyone watch it who hasn't seen it yet. It is so much fun to watch. They did such amazing work on this because Spielberg opened up his wallet to give to them. They went way harder than they had to. Just respect for the filmmakers, respect for Steven Spielberg, and it's a damn fun movie. it is one of my favorite films. Definitely my top 100 films of all time. So gets an A+ for me. As always, thanks for watching. I think the heat's getting to me. Whew. I do declare. If you like this crap, there's other crap out there. And until next time, good hunting.